Takes a bit of time. And it seems like that's going live. And now I can start the.
We have to start the webinar first. Oh, there it is.
Hello, everyone. Everyone is making fun of me because I get to be the host for that particular session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Yeah, Miles is currently on vacation. He's on a honeymoon. It's very funny because I got to listen to myself on YouTube. So it's working on YouTube. Fantastic. I'm going to start sharing my screen in a moment. Meanwhile, you can just say hi in the chat and share where you're coming from because we have new people in our team as well. And we would love to share the location if they're near you. And hello, everyone. Since we have a rather packed agenda, I think we're going to start right now. So congratulations and welcome to join our new town hall of the 6th of March. Now, we're live streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And yeah, we're recording so you can watch it back on YouTube. If you're arriving a bit late, you're welcome to join back on YouTube to hear the updates that we'll share with you in a few minutes. And then we're going to have some Q&A from the audience. You're welcome to join us on stage, just raise your hand. And then you can also use a Q&A function. And I want to thank in advance our sales team and our support team who is there in the chats and in the Q&A to answer any questions that you might have. And of course, I'm not alone in also being on stage. You will hear from Andrew on direct updates, and you will also hear from Alisa and Emily on core and connectivity updates, and so many updates in particular on device dashboard. First, a disclaimer about some comments that we're going to make about the host token and Hospitable as an investment opportunity. You can pause that screen and basically read the fine print. Now, to get started, I actually wanted to get a bit of an update regarding the team. Now, I don't know if Nikki made it live, but just today we are scheduled to pass 53 people towards the end of the month of March. Yeah, we are now still in 20 countries, but there's been a new place where we've added things. Now, Nikki has been joining, unfortunately, as someone. You won't be able to have him on screen. I see that he raised his hands. But yeah, Nikki is basically our most recent addition over to the sales team. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to allow him to talk right here and then. Hello, Nikki. How are you doing? And hopefully we even get to hear his voice. You can unmute yourself. How are you doing?
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Everybody hears you. You just raise a few 200 friends.
I'm Nikki. I'm the new sales rep for North America and Europe. I've been a Hospitable user for 5 years. I actually attended my first town hall a month ago. So I've been on the other side with you, and now I'm joining the team, and hopefully our paths will cross. But I'm very excited to work with Hospitable and to help you all on your journey to being amazing Airbnb hosts.
Short-term rental host. How is the onboarding going so far?
It's good. It's good. The team is great. I'm enjoying working with all these people. I think from my town hall, I got an early feel for the type of employee that they have here. And they're all very friendly, very easy to talk to, and helpful for any issues that you encounter.
Perfect. Thank you, Nikki. You have been definitely in a very competitive position. I've been receiving personally dozens of applications for that particular role from other customers, active customers, including Chad. Chad, I know you were in the group, you're listening to this. I'm not forgetting about you. But yeah, thank you so very much for all your applications. Yeah, we will have a job for everyone at a given point in time if we're growing big enough. Thank you, Nikki, and good luck for your new job. So just to bring an update to our position that are currently open, well, we've recruited sales in APAC and in US for American hours. I didn't say that, but Nikki is actually based out of Montreal in Canada. And whoopla, are we still sharing the right screen? Yeah, and social creative has been recruited. It's not APAC at all. This is actually an American-based position, just great. And yeah, now this sales position has been filled. Now we have 2 upcoming roles that I've been talking about in the past 2 weeks. I've received some applications that are absolutely stellar, so thank you very much for that. I currently, so the job ads are still pending further review and making sure that it's all aligned and really up to standard. So I'm asking again for your patience. Once it's live, you'll be added. No worries. You'll be following that process with us. Now, the more urgent recruiting that basically came up is on the software engineering side. And so we are opening 3 new engineering positions to join us with our direct team, a core team, or a platform team, so that we can take over the world, 1 product, 1 feature launch at a time. Typically here for a position to mid-level engineer, we'll be paying $134,000 at a total cost of employment that's not equivalent to a gross compensation. We recruit globally, and so therefore it's optimized by costs rather than gross compensation because it doesn't depend on your local country and tax status. And there is an extra incentive with 53, nearly 54,000 host RSUs. So that's pure compensation added for you. And obviously that grows as a company is growing itself. We're looking for people based in the US or EMEA, but unlike other positions, for example, for support, it's not something we're really going to be paying very close attention to. We have been recruiting in the past for positions like this in Asia Pacific. So there really is no problem wherever you are in the world. We can absolutely consider your application. So just a list of the upcoming position and the total compensation that we'll be having moving forward. And you can apply today for a software engineering position at Hospitable on hsptb.com/apply. Now, hsptb.com/apply. When you know the inspiration about that domain name, I just realized that basically there was 1 letter that was missing. And, I was really afraid that the domain would not be available, but turns out it was. So just as of 15 minutes ago, the proud owner of hsptbl.com. But that's for another story. I have an addiction and Andrew knows everything about it. The host token, I'm going to talk a little bit about that because, yeah, we are also back to fundraising, which is totally unrelated to the previous part. If you've been trying to invest in the past, you realize that basically you were stuck because the service provider that was going through the KYC, uploading your selfie, processing your driver license or your passport was basically, they actually shut down their operations. And so we are no longer able to accept new investors. That's now solved, so you can see what the new portal looks like. It's about the same, it's the same address, still available on invest.hospitable.com. There are a few things that are missing, in particular the token history. I've shared that feedback already to the Famin team. But yeah, I really like the UI as it looks like now, and the experience has been really far more simplified, which is really what we would like to have, especially when allowing our customers to invest. So what can you do now? You can sign up to invest.hospitable.com. You can actually go through KYC. If you're based in the United States, you will need to submit an accredited investor verification letter, which is a mouthful. If you don't have one, but you believe that you qualify as an accredited investor, I strongly recommend you use accredited.am, which is basically a service that does it for you for free. I will personally review and validate every verification letter. So there are some people who are trying to force their way with letters from 2021. It's not something that I can accept. It needs to be a recent letter, and that's why accredited.am is really a fantastic tool for everyone that wants to be in the investing community. And now, after that, you are cleared to invest, and you can join 77 of us which are mostly customers and team members, especially in recent weeks for some reason. So people, ask you to check what's the leadership about Wingstra. Our shareholders are customers, and that so far is the best pill to ensure that we are going to be customer-centric and customer-focused, and I'm very attached to have that keep on happening. Now, there is a little bit of a gigantic opportunity for you as an investor. It's a bit of a problem at this point, even for me, is that you can today invest in Hospitable at a valuation of under $30 million. I think at this point in time is basically the actual startup that will be valued $30 million based out of San Francisco is probably a pitch deck and saying that they want to work in AI. And that's sufficient to have a valuation of $30 million these days. So especially for a company that is post-revenue, that's scaling, that is more of the gross profit margin era than it is about just repeatable sales, that valuation is really not connected with the actual growth of the company. So that's something that we announced actually to our host investors in past weeks. We are going to be working on increasing that valuation. Now, the dates have been needs a bit more validation on my side, make sure that basically it's doable. Currently, $30 million basically is about 10 times the revenue of Hospitable, I think, in 2018. We are obviously been growing very significantly since then. So I want to increase the valuation of the company in progressive phases so that everyone gets an opportunity to still jump on it and be able to invest a little bit if they want to. So there's going to be the first phase increasing from 30 million to 15 million, which I said is basically about 10 times the revenue that we had in 2022. Later, I think the idea is 6 weeks later, 80 million as a new company valuation, which represented 10x revenue that we had ended the year 2023 in. And then phase 2, which is actually, you can see phase 3, is increasing to $100 million, which is the valuation that I expect will be reaching this year in the coming 3 to 5 months. And so obviously the idea is to catch up the rolling safe valuation to the actual revenue that a company is making. Because currently the valuation is just a function of how much money the investors are putting in. And we were probably, we're expecting more. Well, that's fine. We're just going to be adjusting it to the real growth. So what do I get when I invest in Hospitable? Those are some more fanciful terms I've been hearing about. No, you don't get a board seat for investing $2,500 in token and a rolling safe contract. You don't get dividends. You don't get equity. I'm going to come back on that later. You don't get to negotiate liquidation preferences. You don't get pro rata or rights of first refusal. It's actually a very simple thing, getting you the right and to get the things that you need. The first thing is you get the economic rights to the future equity of Hospitable at a liquidity event. That it means that whenever we're sold, you're getting the proceeds of your share of that sale. So if a company, I'm not going to name any company, I'm not going to be very good and creative today. But if a company was acquiring Hospitable, you'll be getting the proceeds. And if we're very successful and going public, then you basically be a stockholder already at the IPO. Now that takes a hell of a long time. And I think the way it's structured is that we'll probably be able to have the opportunity for investors to trade tokens with one another before we reach such a scale. Because it's actually a liability, I think, very much for companies to be just public or nothing. Just ask Stripe who had to raise $3.5 billion just to pay for taxes of options that had to expire. What you get that actually may be important for you is priority support rather than paying that monthly fee. And if you're qualified, obviously it's a better way to just get money out of that with an investment. You will be receiving, just like everyone else, a quarterly investor updates. You'll be invited to join a Slack channel where you get access to the entirety of the team, including product managers and engineers. And you get my WhatsApp phone number, which actually we may get to touch on that a little bit later. I actually got one investor to use this week. So that was fantastic. It was used once. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say on this. And now we can move over to Andrew, who has some updates on channel integrations.
Yeah, just a quick update for you guys. We've been, I guess, keeping you in the loop on the saga, the drama of our work with VRBO to get an integration. It's something that we thought we had with the VRMA last year in October. You all remember the exciting trip we made to Madrid to meet with them there. And again, the trail kind of fell cold. This seems to be related to the Expedia layoffs. So yeah, not great news. We heard back from them that the earliest we're going to be able to start on this is Q3 now. So this has been delayed yet again. Apologize for that. We're basically waiting on technical support team on the VRBO side to be able to work with our team. Our team has already gone through all of the work, planned out the integration, gone through all the APIs that are involved. We're ready to go. We're excited to go. In the meantime, I think our connectivity is pretty stable with them at the moment, but we're going to go ahead with another integration first, which is on the Agoda side. So that is going to start in a couple weeks. We've done similar kind of planning and architecture work for that integration now. So that'll be an interesting one to look forward to. Yeah, no ETA yet. That work starts in a couple weeks. So on the channel side, moving on to direct updates. Most of this week, we've been focused on the new site builder. So all of you that, unless you have a custom domain connected to a Hospitable site, everyone else using custom subdomain or just using our own Hospitable URLs. Pierre was alluding to his penchant for purchasing domains. I relieved him of that duty and purchased a couple this week. We're going to have a few more domains released for the Hospitable sites. Some fun ones that I found while I was shopping for this, but yeah, new, not just new base domains coming. The sites that are out now, the important part is they load a lot faster. Their SEO is better. We fixed a few small UI items, but the main thing that we needed to accomplish, is moving off of a vendor that we really just were in a bad relationship with, and it was blocking us from making improvement on the sites. So we've been talking about this for the last couple of town halls. That big migration has happened. The last remaining step is we're going to communicate with people using the custom domains in the next couple of days with the instructions on updating your sites. And yeah, from here, it's a wide open field of improvements we can do. Everything is in-house now, and we're excited for what the future holds. If you are on a self-hosted site, moving on to the next slide, you also got some attention this week. The platform team worked with our direct team to release a property search API. So that's the multi-property search, the widgets that we released for direct. Those are now available for anyone that doesn't want to use our widgets. So for example, if you're a Boostly customer, this is what they were waiting for to be able to get started on providing this functionality for your Boostly site. Any other website vendor that wants to build their own widgets, they now have the capabilities to do this. So Emily from our platform team was on a call with Boostly today, sharing this with their CTO. And this is now public. So if you want to get started on doing this, you can go to developer.hospitable.com and you can look in the V2 property section and you'll find the search endpoint. And you can send any latitude, longitude for a location of you want to search in reference to your properties, any guest count, and any check-in and check-out dates, and you'll get all your properties sorted in accordance with your search terms. Moving on, otherwise, what we're working on, we are on a big project for tax filing remittance. We made some some progress this week on that. Again, it is a massive project. We've brought on new accounting resources in-house as well. So we now have accountants working that are going to help us on the compliance and tax side of it. The technical side is in progress as well. We're working on further improvements to quotes. You guys have been great giving us feedback on what we can do better with preparing custom quotes for direct. So we're actioning those now, including, like we've talked about, being able to reuse an existing guest verification on the premium side so guests don't have to go through the auto host flow again if it's a repeat returning guest, which is a lot of the custom quote use cases. On the alteration side, This is actually part of the work we're doing for payment terms. So letting guests pay a deposit and then multiple payments. One of the things we needed for that is what happens if the payment method fails on one of those payments, and we have a fallback. We realized we could already use that in an existing flow, which is on alterations. Right now, if you make an alteration for a guest that extends the booking and increases the price, we're going to capture the payment on their existing payment method. If that fails, we've been kind of stuck. Right now, with this new update, we'll be able to immediately notify the guest. We'll reattempt in 24 hours, but we'll also give them a payment page they can use to switch a payment method. So if they have another card that's going to work instead, they can switch that, and you're not just kind of stuck on an alteration that's not working because they have insufficient balance or the credit card was expired, whatever. We're going to have a failover for that. So that's going to help the alteration first and then be used in payment methods going forward. Okay, otherwise, looking further down the field, next slide, please. Yeah, we're working on estimated taxes as well as midterm taxes for basic. GVR brands as part of an overall project for Hospitable brands. That's just been a bit stalled at the moment. We're just waiting for resources available to do that. And then we'll be able to let you basically send your own property management brand or your own property brand to Google. So people see that when they're on your GVR listing. Site analytics. This is one of the big things we're going to be able to do now that we have all the sites in-house. We're going to be able to install a really slick analytics package. So you're going to be able to see how many people are coming to your site, how much time they're spending, how many of them are converting or not converting, and be able to make some improvements according to that. And then the recurring payments, like we talked about, payment terms, etc. Other things on sites that we're looking at, definitely like there's been a lot of requests for Google Analytics IDs, Google Tag Manager, Facebook tracking pixels. I think that'll be one of the first projects we do, or the first kind of bundle of projects. So the site analytics, tracking. With tracking, I think for our European hosts, anyone in a GDPR kind of regime, we're going to do a cookie solution bundled with that since it's relevant to those tracking pixels. And then single property site templates. That's been a long-standing request and something we were really blocked on before. So if you just have one property, our current templates are a bit wonky for you with only one property. We'll be fixing that. Those three are the kind of the major early wins to look forward to with the sites. And last little item here on the tax side, this was a Facebook topic for the Hospitable host group that came up. Yeah, we were a little bit confused by this as well. The federal transaction threshold is $20,000 for filing a 1099-K. So we only had 37 hosts on direct that were impacted by the payment processor filing 1099s on your behalf, on our behalf. If you got a 1099 mailed to you, that's your signal that it was filed. So you should have received one in the mail. If you're one of these 37 hosts, you might not have reached that $20,000 threshold this year for 2023. You might have a lower threshold in your state or in another local jurisdiction that was expecting this. So the minimum threshold is $600. So if you got one in the mail, that means you were one of the 37 hosts, and you'll need to take care of that with your tax filing. Again, this is based on transactions that happen in 2023, even if the check-in is in 2024. And it's going to include fees. So you're going to need to make sure to deduct those fees when you file that. It's a bit complicated. We know that. So next slide, please. We reached out to some people in our community to help. So we organized kind of a last minute tax seminar to help anyone that has questions about what to do. So if you were one of the 37 that got a 1099, or you're anticipating getting one next year and you want to figure out, whatever questions you have on that, as well as maybe some other topics about how to structure your short-term rental business to be more tax efficient. This is happening on March 13th. I'm going to drop a registration link in the chat right now, so you can sign up for that and join us 1 week from today. And we'll be talking all tax questions. Really, as just a service to you guys, we're going to make Amanda and Matt available. They obviously have a business that they run on the side, but they're happy to kind of help out and do any questions you guys have about your short-term rental taxes, and we can all help each other out. Okay, I will pass to Emily or Alyssa.
Yep, me. Andrew, will a recording of that tax webinar be available?
You have to believe it will be. I think Google is the only one that has prevented us from recording a webinar
Okay.
for Google reasons. So yeah, we should be able to have a recording available for everyone.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Hey, everybody. Good to see you or talk to you. Let's jump into some core and connectivity updates. First, AI updates launched just today. You can now improve your message with AI. So previously, we had the ability for you to suggest an AI response when you're messaging your guest. Now you can improve it. So what that means is you can type something in that text box and improve that message. You can type instructions, you can type a message that will then be improved. And we're basically going to take the context of your property, the reservation, and the conversations you've had with the guest and combine it with your own brain power. So I've used this several times myself just today, and it's really, really nice. You can see in that GIF, I just said, no early check-in, hit improve, and it puts together a nicer sounding message. We've heard from a lot of hosts that this is great when maybe you're not feeling super friendly, maybe you're having a difficult conversation with a guest, or maybe you just want to save some time. So check that out, put it to some use, and enjoy. We're really excited about that one. Next, translating guest messages. So this is available right now for Airbnb reservations. When the guest is messaging you in a different language, Airbnb actually makes an attempt to translate that language into your preferred language as a host. And they're sending that information to us, so we're now displaying it to you. So you can read the messages in your preferred language. And if you'd like, you can toggle this on and off with that little language icon up there by the guest name to see what the guest originally wrote and then what the translation is. So to hopefully make things a little bit easier communicating with guests in other languages. And next, okay, so this is what's coming up. This is just a little bit of a sneak peek. So as you know, several weeks ago, we released Metrics. Metrics has so much data in it. And it's really great for seeing things kind of holistically, right? You have all your reservations organized horizontally, but sometimes it's difficult to make sense of like, okay, well, how does this matter for a specific reservation? So what we're doing is within the inbox, within a conversation with your guest, you're going to be able to see the reservation financials for that specific reservation, really broken down into nice, clean categories with all of the line items that make up the gross revenue of that particular reservation. So we're excited to be able to bring a lot of clarity here. The screenshot that I have on the left is what it looks like today. We're basically just shoving a bunch of information in there, and it's really difficult to tell, like, is this positively impacting my payout? Is it a negative number? What is this information, right? And so moving forward, we're going to be displaying this a lot more clear, really detailed breakdown. The goal for this is what you see in the inbox, in the conversation with your guest, is going to align perfectly with what's shown in Metrics and what's actually spit out in our public API, right? So our goal here is alignment and to give you a much clearer picture of your reservation financials as it pertains to the gross revenue. So that's something that's coming soon. Feel free to share feedback in the chat. This might not be exactly what it looks like, but our goal here is to just give lots of clarity. So if there's anything specifically that you'd really like to see when you're having conversations with your guests as it pertains to financials, let us know in the chat what it is you'd like to see, and we can consider that as we work to roll this out in the coming weeks. That's all I've got for today. Passing off to Alyssa for some smart locks updates.
Hello, everyone. If you've been on the previous town halls, you'll know what I'm talking about. We've mentioned this before. Go ahead and click one more time, Pierre. Oh man, sorry, I didn't realize I had animations on. But the device dashboard is now in public beta. The current features that you will see are when the code has first been used. You'll be able to search and filter through your codes and your devices. In fact, this is the current features. You can see the upcoming features. What I'm actually going to do, which is not usually what you're supposed to do, but I'm going to share my screen with you and walk you through the dashboard so you can actually see what it looks like real fast. And then you're free to ask questions if you like. Okay, so here we are. This is the new Manage Devices dashboard. This is what you will see if you have any of our smart locks integrations except for a remote lock. It'll be the same for other third-party integrations that we have in the future. But you can see here in the reservations tab all of the codes for all of your reservations. You can see their current statuses, when they were used, timestamp when you hover over all of that. And the statuses follow the same colors as they do in our inbox, and you can filter through these. Now, if you click on this, you can get more of the details, copy your code, and you can also even edit these codes from directly in here. As you'll notice, you can't update the name if the code is already on the lock. It's just because the locks don't allow it, but you can see everything in here. You can also delete those codes if you like. Now, in operations is where you're going to see all of the codes that don't actually have to do with a reservation. So most of, and not backup codes. So manually created codes, codes that you've created for, say, your cleaners or your other admins, property managers. You'll see those in here. You can actually create codes from in here as well. Those can be time bound or always on. Best use case here, in my opinion, is for your cleaners or other maintenance staff that are going to come in. You can create unique codes for them. And in the future, we'll have a type for each of these codes that you can put in so that you can better organize these. Also, from here, you can click to the device. You can lock and unlock the lock. You can see its status, if it's online or not, what the battery power is, code length, and you can actually see all of the access codes in one place for the device in here, including what backup codes exist. And the same here in the devices tab. So this is where we're at right now. Please go in, check it out, play around, and yeah, let's see here. Play around, and whenever, yeah, if you have any other feedback for us, sorry, I keep getting off. If you have any other feedback for us, please let us know. The upcoming features that you'll see are a log of all of the events and actions related to these devices. We'll have more granular notifications based on low battery, if the code has, when the code is first used, other account issues. We'll also start displaying device errors and warnings in those device details pop-up. And we'll also be working on pulling in unmanaged codes, that is codes that we did not create or aren't created through our system, and working on so you can convert those to being managed and make them viewable in the dashboard, and lots of other things like that. So please let us know what you think. And that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Alisa. That's great progress on the device dashboard. We're talking about it for months now. So it's very, very happy that now today it's on public beta for everyone to enjoy. We're going to jump onto the Q&A part of this talk. So we're going to get people who have already been raising their hands to be on stage. If you don't want to be on stage, you can keep asking a question in the Q&A section, where I want to thank Shifra in particular for answering all the questions that she can, and obviously all our product team for everything that's all coming up right now. For example, in on the device dashboard, if there is a question if you also like to see answered, you can also upvote it directly in the Q&A section. If you have a very interesting question, please don't bury it in the chat, because it's now going to be very visible for everyone. Okay, let's start with Nate Fonseca, who I think the name is very familiar. Hello, Nate. How can we help you today?
Hello. Few things on my end. I would like to say thanks for the phone app update. I really appreciate now that I can actually log in via like a code from so I know I've been bothering about that for a while. So definitely really, really great to have that. The other thing I was mentioning for Emily, the translations, I've had like recently some very spammy messages from Airbnb come through, like, and they're all in like in Chinese. The translation did not seem to pick that up. I know Airbnb, translated it, but when I went on Hospitable, the translation button was there because I recall seeing it, but it didn't translate anything. So I don't know if it's like a language specific thing or
at this point in time, I think, we will not be able to answer that. We're really relaying the translations that are shared with us by Airbnb. We do so reliably.
Yeah.
If there is an issue with translation, right now we don't have any translation for the messages themselves, or we don't correct Airbnb's translation.
Sweet.
So
And then the other thing was, is there any sort of like alerting or anything to be sent out when a guest message has not been sent? Recently, one of my messages that usually gets scheduled to be sent to a guest when they book was not sent, and I had to like manually send that message in. Like
and was
usually
there
you know, Hospitable does a pretty good job of like, sending it in after it's pretty much I have a messaging rule that says like on after a booking they would send out a message saying, "Hey, thanks for the reservation, blah 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 blah. Like look out for a code in 3 days
okay.
before your thing." But for a particular guest, it did not get sent out, and they're like, "Do I get the code? How do I log in? How do I access the property? Blah blah blah." So I'm wondering, is there like any sort of alerts or anything like that that gets sent out saying like, I know for example, when like a door code isn't set, they send out a message saying, "Hey, sorry, door code's not sent, blah blah blah." Um,
Back good, yeah.
yeah.
I think we will not be able to answer really on
Okay.
that basis, because it really depends on the configuration that you have. If you've not received a notification that there was an error in sending the message, that probably maybe that something came up either on the configuration of the rules. So yeah, without knowing the specifics and actually doing a bit of technical
Hmm.
investigation that a support team is really great at, and it's unfortunately very time consuming, but we want to do our job really well,
Yeah.
and so take the time to get back to you. So Nate, I'm going to ask you to be patient and to wait for whatever you can hear from the support team when they have a chance to look into that.
Appreciate it. That's it for me.
Thank you, Nate. Okay, I'm gonna ask now to the next person who raised their hands, who is Tommy. Hello, Tommy.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you doing? How can we help you?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for everything. Software is working beautifully, so really appreciate it. I
Yes.
got a quick one and then just one on metrics. The quick one is with the percentage off stays, that's been working great. Do you guys have any intention to do where we can offer 50% off one night or one night for free? Because we do a lot of promotions that will have that type of stuff. So where we can just not have a blanket percentage off the whole. So where it could just be first night free, 50%. Yeah, so yeah, I know that complicates things. So
No, that's fine. We count on customers for that.
yeah.
Andrew, what's your best answer?
If you give a mouse a cookie. Yeah. I would love to spend an infinite amount of time improving promo codes. Yeah, we did do one update on promo codes. We improved the stacking logic, so now it actually does choose the higher the discount. So we did that. I'm trying not to get back into it just because we have so many important things on our roadmap right now.
Sure.
But yeah,
Not
I mean,
mission
all the
critical.
feedback is welcome. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Nights off and percentages of a specific number of nights. Yeah, we want all of that eventually. It's just the prioritization that has to happen to get there.
Cool. Okay. And then the other thing and I think this will be helpful for a lot of people is with metrics. We're constantly comparing month over month from 1 year to the previous year or even 2 years back. So I don't know if there's any plans into that, but one of the things that kind of makes it tough with the way that the numbers come through metrics is the revenue is recorded into the month based on when the stay occurred. So what we'll run into is, so if I want to look at this March and I want to look at March of 2023, if in March of 2023, let's just say we had a booking that started on the 25th of March, but then had 20 days that ran into April, all of that revenue will come into the March data. Whereas we would like to look on, or at least I would, I think other people would like to look on it on a day-to-day basis. So we see, okay, these 30 days within the month of March compared to the next year, the previous year, whatever. And Price Labs, they do offer that. I forget what they call it, but I would love for that to be here because I don't want to leave hospital. I like to hang out in hospital and work within your guys' system.
Okay. I think maybe Alisa is the best person to answer a question like this. Yes?
Yeah, so it is actually something that we discussed when we were going into building metrics out. Part of the difficulty is, as you can imagine, it could be a $500 booking, but each day is a different rate. And so do you, even that out across all of those dates? Do you have to go back and look at what the price was at for that date, which is pretty difficult to do because the price could change later. And so there's different things there. We decided to go based on the usual payout time, and because that's when you were paid for it. But that was a decision there, especially in this whole like the V1 of our big metrics release.
Yeah.
But definitely welcome feedback on if those sorts of things. If you think that just an average.
That would definitely be helpful, I'm sure, for a lot of us, just because year-over-year comparison is very important. So that makes it easy to do.
Yeah, I understand. I'd like to have more granular comparisons. That's something I would like to do, but it's
awesome.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things we'd like to do in metrics.
Yep, I get that. But no, you guys are doing amazing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tommy, for your question. And thank you, Alisa, for your answer on metrics. Next person is going to be Shafiq. Hello, Shafiq. How can we help you today?
Hi. I have few questions. Lately, I was having hard time to get booking. I went through some groups in Facebook, and everybody's talking about Hospitable being blocked from Airbnb to let people get booking, and it's like making their listing being tanked and not be in the search. Any feedback about that?
So if Airbnb is basically blocking traffic originally connected to the Hospitable.
That's correct, because for many people, I mean, that's how you call it, a group in Facebook with more than 50,000, and I would say like at least 500 people, they were having the same issue the last month, because they said like Airbnb, it's like detecting that you using a channel manager, and they don't want to have this competition with VRBO booking, blah, 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 especially if you're using flat price.
So, okay. I'm very lucky to not be in that Facebook group because I will be educating a few people. Airbnb has a software partnership program where they allow a lot of vendors, which Hospitable is a part of, to be integrating their API. The main goal of Airbnb is not to block the traffic for Airbnb because Airbnb loses money on that. It's actually to basically retain their portfolio so that as you are getting more and more professional as a host, you are going to inevitably want to distribute your inventory over multiple channels. Everyone is using the same APIs in the same way, and the idea is that it's basically they're in the interest of Airbnb. If they didn't have it, then it would be more difficult for operators at scale to professionalize and keep on using Airbnb. So Airbnb is actually a great partner at that. There is no function on Airbnb search to in any way limit the visibility on search by anything. That's basically the snake oil business that is part of the short-term rental industry, where basically people are making up explanations that are absolutely making no sense. To be fair, I've been hearing those things also on completely the other side, that you would be using an actual channel manager, but Hospitable is not a channel manager, because you can use a property management software on channel manager and Hospitable altogether, unlike anyone else. And so therefore anyway, I've heard also the fact that Hospitable, once Hospitable was connected and the PMS was disconnected, basically it receives a boom in traffic. None of that makes any sense. So this is just basically, people sharing their opinions. There are billions and billions of transactions that go through software partners at Airbnb, at VRBO, at Booking.com. That's where the top inventory is connected. Thank you, Brooke. You're saying you're laughing so hard at my facial expression.
One more question. One more question is about direct. How can we get like support through direct for direct? Because I have a lot of questions and issues. How can we reach the support? Because one of the main issues is the support then with the platform.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a direct support team that is specialized in helping you out. And as long as they've got capacity, you can ask them to do a Zoom call with you and get you set up and go through your questions. You can also book office hours with me. If you go to the help section Hospitable, there's a give feedback button from there, and you can book office hours with actually anyone on the product team. But I'd be the better one for direct related questions, or just send your questions directly in Intercom and make sure that you have direct in your query, and that'll get routed to the right team to get you sorted.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shafiq. Thank you for bringing it up. Next person will be a usual guest on the show, Anthony. Let me invite you over. What's it going to be today?
Hey, guys. Hey.
Hello, Anthony.
You have an email from me, PC. It's
I know. I just didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Don't worry. That's not prior.
So tell me, how can we help you?
First off, thank you guys for the awesome devices. So big shout out to Alyssa and team there. It's so cool. I'm really enjoying it. The updates just as of yesterday or today or whatever, and then were announced. Really great. I just used it again this morning. It's going to be a huge time saver. Big thanks. Also, the AI refine. That's cool. Didn't know about that coming down the pike, but really great to play with. And saw that came out yesterday and then got announced today. So double kudos there. And also super cool to see you guys at the conference Build Short-Term Rental Wealth in Nashville or whatever it was a couple weeks ago. My question is this. Task reminders. Okay, task reminders was something that leaked that it was going to be ready in December. This is regarding like individual reminders to the actual cleaners assigned to an actual. Yeah, I know. Shake your head, right? Like it's like, hey, I don't want to announce to all my cleaners that something's happening. I want to announce to the cleaner that has been assigned. And it was so close. It went into progress. I thought it was about to hit, and I was like literally getting my teams ready for that. And then it went back into like, I don't care phase, and it's now March. What's up?
Who worked on this, Andrew? I mean, I'm turning to you, but there was someone on the team that did. Lisa did. But she's trying to work.
I can tell you. It was so we thought, this looks like it'll be a quick win. We can base it off some of the other things we already have in place. And so in between some really large things, we got somebody on it, and as one of our engineers on it, and as he went in, he realized, this is not a quick win. This is actually a much larger thing than one might expect. Definitely than I was expecting. So it had to be pushed back because there were other really large projects coming down the pipe. So that's essentially what happened. Yeah, I know. I want it too. We've been talking about this for so long. Something we really want. It'd be so nice.
I think we're all on the same team here on thinking that this should be a very simple thing for us to be doing. And I don't know who is the idiot that wrote these parts, but hey, they're fixing take that one step at a time. founders, developers, really bad idea. But yeah, thank you, Alyssa. And so, yeah, when are you going to be able to work on this now? Fine, don't come back. Don't come back. It's going to be a time later in the future when everything is rosy and we have, fantastic smart devices board and fantastic metrics.
I have ideas of when, but as any good product manager will tell you, I cannot give you a specific date.
Who's not? Thank you. Anthony, is there anything else we can help you with?
No, I think I'm muted. Am I muted? I don't know.
No, we can hear you.
No, okay, because it said auto muting in a few seconds. I respect the product line on that sense, but oh please, it's killing me. Like I tried to play with Turno even, and that wasn't even going to work because it was only one way, and just not worth bringing anything else into the stack, honestly. Yeah, that'll be really. I know we all think it would be simple, and I appreciate that it was discovered that it wasn't. So yeah, anything you need from a testing, playing opportunity with that, I'm happy to do it. Hopefully the feedback I've given on the stuff I've been betaing has been helpful too.
It has. Thank you, Anthony, for bringing that up. Keep pushing for it. I know you know your way around the feedback.hospitable.com website where you can share your feedback and vote other people's ideas. I've been getting there a few times. So yeah, thank you very much, Anthony, for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Tasha. Hello, Tasha. How can we help you?
Hello. So I'm new to Hospitable. It's only like my 5th day, so
congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're talking, so that's a good move.
I've never used a property management software before, so this is like a big learning curve for me. Just a little background. So I'm gonna be asking you guys a lot of probably what people would consider stupid questions, but
no stupid question.
So thank you for that. I'm trying to go the direct booking route, and I'm just wondering, so I haven't set up the whole direct booking platform. I'm still playing with it, but I wanted to send a client today a request to book direct, and I see that there is a way to actually add in a booking. So I was, playing with it myself. I sent myself the invoice, and then when I went in to try to pay myself, it said that this booking couldn't be confirmed. So I went back in, figured out that I needed to add my banking information. So I'm in the process of verifying all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So once I do all of that, what is the fee for processing the payment?
So it depends on which plan you're on. So there's direct basic and direct premium. Did you already make a choice on which one you're going to use?
Yes, I made the choice for the premium,
Okay.
but it's not activated yet because I don't have anything, right? It's not activated because I don't have anything live.
Yeah, I mean, so you'll need to use it before you take any direct bookings, including through the custom quote flow that it sounds like you were using. But once you do go live, you publish your site and you use custom quotes, there's a guest service fee that gets charged to the guest of 6% plus $10. And that's covering all of your guest vetting and damage protection and other all the other support tools that go into doing that. That does not come out of your payout. That's charged to the guest and then included in your payout. So there's no deduction from your payout.
Okay, so once I do set up my banking information, I still won't be able to send them this invoice, and they won't be able to pay it because I don't have.
You'll need to activate your direct plan first. Yep.
Oh, and you can't activate the direct plan until.
No, you can. You need to do really just one thing to be able to activate, which is to add a basically a placeholder for your bank account. You don't even have to finish the know your customer verification. You just need to give us a payout method to use, and then you can accept bookings. You won't be able to get payouts though until you finish that know your customer verification that you're talking about. Once you've added a payout method, if you want to get your site ready, you can do that while you're not activating direct. When you're ready to go live and take bookings, you need to activate direct then. You should be able to do that now. It sounds like you've already added a payout method.
Well, yeah, I was in the middle of doing that. So
Yep.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to explain that one more time because I'm still not really familiar with everything. So,
Okay.
go ahead. Can you say that again?
Yep, just add a payout method like it sounds like you've done now, and you should be able to activate direct, and then you're good. You're good. And there's there's a lot of support articles in there that'll give you a checklist to look over that you can take a look at. Otherwise, yeah, you can reach out to the support team to give you some help. But yeah, payout method, activate direct, and you should be fine.
Okay, so when I activate direct, from what I was reading, you don't actually get charged until when?
So if you're talking about the per property fee, that'll be on your next Hospitable invoice as an add-on. So it'll align with your invoice date, and you won't get two invoices. It'll be included in your next invoice.
Okay.
Tasha, how about we get you some extra super fantastic, genuine, super expert pro help today?
That would be me
To
today
be
for a
fair.
quick second. Tarsha, I see that you already spoke to one of my coworkers, Brian. You had a quick call. I've just pinged Brian. He's going to send you an email if you can actually book an onboarding session. So 30 minutes, one-on-one. You get to ask any and all questions. Again, as Pierre said, there's no stupid questions, nothing is silly enough. But I think you're going to benefit from this a lot. And again, it's one-on-one. You get to ask everything, and Brian's going to help you set up direct automated messages, any additional things you might need, so that you actually are set up for success with Hospitable.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No worries.
Thank you so very much, Tasha. We just have time now for one more person to be joining us, and that's going to be Jake, who I think is also a regular. Is he? Are you, Jake?
I'm pretty regular. I mean, I'm a weird guy, but I'm a regular weird guy, you know. So
Oh, okay. No, come on, you're making fun of me now.
no, I am definitely I try to show up as
Yeah.
many of these as I can, and I've been a Hospitable customer for I don't know 6 years or something like that. So
That's I remember that was still the time when I was doing the customer support maybe with Matthew and
yeah,
Larry.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
terrible time. How can we help you today?
I had two things I wanted to bring up. One, I met Alyssa at the conference, and Alyssa told me about something. I think it was something like Airbnb Connect. I'm looking to be able to get more data essentially than what I'm able to get through metrics. Am I on the right track? Alyssa maybe would remember what we talked about, but I'm a revenue manager and I'm trying to get more data than what I can currently get through metrics. Am I on the right track there?
I don't think so.
I think I think maybe what I was discussing, if I mentioned Connect, then I think you're, I might
I think
have
it was
thought
more
you
about your
were a
business.
vendor. Yeah, it was about like your business. So like that, you can connect to that. But our if you connect to our API or webhooks, webhooks especially has more financial data, and we're currently working on aligning all of our APIs and webhooks and metrics data, all of that. So it includes everything and it's named the same across the board and same calculations across the board. So that's actually a very big project we're working on in the background right now. So
was that something that I could use with listings that were also not connected to Hospitable? There was something that you talked about where you connect it independently of Hospitable and then get the data.
Emily is actually the best person to talk about that.
Hey Jake. So I work specifically on the platform team, and we kind of own that product that you're talking about, Hospitable Connect. I think we should maybe talk after this, if that's okay. So I'm going to shoot you a message with my Calendly link, and we can schedule a call. Is that all right?
That would be fantastic. One
Okay.
other thing I wanted to mention, I had a great call with Bestie.ai. And I know you guys just said that you have some updates to the AI function. Really, my only question is, like, are you working towards doing something similar to what they are doing, or are you interested in working with a company like that to increase the AI capabilities of Hospitable?
Yeah, this one is gonna be on me. When I created, and it was at the time Smart BNB, I really want to make it AI first as much as possible. And AI first in 2016, 2017 meant really NLPs and classifiers. And that still basically is one of the functions that you get to see today, or to detect, whenever a question is about early check-in or some other dimension. We now, obviously, there is generative AI, which is really reaching a perfect level, near perfect level of, I mean, it's pretty damn fantastic what we can achieve with that. So we have one product manager, Anmol, who is not there today, who is basically working on that behind the scenes, with also some specific resources, both on the front end and on the back end side, to really be working on that. I believe that the place where the AI needs to be is really within the property management software that already is one centralizing all your data, be it the messaging part, which we need to do better. Which is about the messaging rules, so making sure that the messages that you craft there, and basically probably rebuilding our entire product around really what the technology can really do, and help you all along the way, because that's going to be our interest. When we, for example, is doing something to help you with Agoda, we want to make sure that your listing contents, your descriptions are going to be fitting Agoda's requirements. Same for VRBO, whenever that's going to be the case. So we really want to bring all the AI features that we can within Hospitable in the first place, because that's ultimately the value that we're delivering for you, and use that all across the business. So that's our objective for this, the first half of the year, and to continue snowballing on those particular feature. So no bad feelings about other service providers. We just think that for now we rather not have the distraction and focus on what it is that we would like to do, and basically see what we can do really for our customers.
But from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you do want to develop a something along the same lines, where essentially it can work as like a virtual assistant almost, in the background, to be able to reply automatically to things and take care of those queries. And then we would only have to interact in the situation where now we have to like approve the discount or approve the reservation or whatever. Is that correct?
That's actually probably something that's coming very soon into our roadmap, which is basically the idea is that you receive a push notification. We have already been able to say, hey, this is a question, and you need to decide now, do you want to, or yes or no? And then based on that decision, we're able to craft a message that we know and we trust is going to be the good one for that guest. So that's already something that's in the roadmap. I would not be able to answer anything as to the time, but I know that I've been hearing about that for quite some time already. I would say probably 2 months. So it's something that's going to come sooner rather than later.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Love to the whole team. Appreciate all your help on everything. Keep putting in the things that we're all asking for, and we'll be happy and stay forever.
For a time, at least for a time. That's what we're going to aim for. Thank you so very much, Jake, for your words of encouragement. And that brings the end to this town hall. Please don't tell Miles next time that you missed him, because otherwise my life is going to be terrible for another 2 weeks. But thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you to everyone in the team for answering your questions. If you need any help, you can always send an email to support@hospitable.com. And if there is something that you would like to bring to my attention in particular, you can try to hit my email. I'm not really guaranteeing a response, but you can try and send me an email on pc@hospitable.com, and I will do my CEO job the best way that I can. Thank you very much. Have a great day. See you later.